Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible. Financial geniuses. Monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it. So your dollar goes a long way. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
Today, we'll have Katelyn's Disney World trip with 3 women and 3 4-year-olds. That's coming up on this episode 481 of WDW Prep To Go. Hello and welcome to WDW Prep To Go. We talk strategy and ideas and have lots and lots of trip reports for people planning their Disney trips. I am your host, Shannon Albert from WDW Prep School.com. Today is another trip report. This time it was with Katelyn, and I absolutely love all the trip reports being a little bit different. And this one is a fun one because it's Katelyn and 2 friends, and they all have 4-year-olds. So you've got three women and 3 pre-K kids, and just a fun little trip that they made happen recently. And as often happens, things can go sideways right in the middle. So you can hear all about that in just a minute. As always, a reminder to follow on social media and to, if you haven't already, gotten on the email list. Would appreciate that. We send out emails about one to 2 times per week with all the latest news and our newest information that we have published to help you plan your trips, etc. So be sure to sign up for that if you haven't already. I also wanted to mention that I have heard from lots of you via DM and email about how there have been podcast recommendations that have been inserted into the episodes, and some of the recommendations haven't been appropriate. And so I just contacted my podcast hosting company, and I said, please stop doing those podcast recommendations because we don't have any control over what they insert. And so they said that they have taken those off. So if that's something that you've come across in recent episodes, that should be turned off by the time you are hearing this. But you can always feel free to reach out to me if you come across something that doesn't seem quite right. And if I can, I will try to fix it. But I think that is it for now. Let's get into my chats with Katelyn. Welcome to the podcast, Katelyn.
Hello.
We're talking on Wednesday, September 10th, and you just told me you're headed to Disney World.
Yes, very excited.
Who's going?
2 of my best friends from high school, and we are all taking our 4-year-olds.
Okay, friend trip with 4-year-olds. So is that three women, 3 4-year-olds?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's really fun. And have people in the group been before, or is it a first trip for some?
No, everybody's been before. My family goes to Disney pretty often, and then Holly, one of my friends that's going on the trip, we actually did this last year with our daughters.
Okay, super fun. And are you the planner for the group? Does everybody kind of share?
No, I'm the planner for the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what are your trip dates?
Okay, so we leave today, and then we're going to come back on Sunday, the 14th.
I don't know if I've ever talked to somebody the day they were leaving before.
Yes, we're leaving after one of my friends gets off of work.
Okay, September 10th to the 14th. And do you guys all live in the same city?
We do. We live in Northeast Georgia.
Okay, so are you driving or flying?
We're driving. We're about 7.5 hours away.
Okay. And is that one big like SUV van kind of thing?
Yes, we're taking my Expedition.
Okay. Yep, that it'll be packed, won't it?
Yes,
And is that how you do? Do you normally drive when you go to Disney World?
we do. My husband doesn't like to fly, so we normally drive every time we go.
Yep. Well, in the location where you are, it's an easy decision to make.
Yes, yes. The flight
Okay.
would probably be better because it's only like an hour, but you know.
Yes, but it takes so much time to like get to the airport and all the things.
Yes.
So it's kind of to me, 8 hours on that breaking point of like
Yes.
drive or fly. But
Yes.
okay. So you guys are all driving today when your friend gets off work?
Yes, we're leaving around 2.
Okay, so you'll obviously get in late. Are you hoping the
Mhm.
four-year-olds fall asleep towards the end?
Yes, they all go to preschool, so we're just gonna keep them up, not let them nap, eat lunch, and then after my friend gets off, we're just gonna leave and maybe they'll nap in the car.
Okay. And where are you all staying?
We're staying at well, tonight we just got a room at a Holiday Inn right off site, and then tomorrow we're going to Art of Animation, and we're staying in one of the suites there.
Okay, so fun. So the Holiday Inn tonight is just for a place to sleep.
Yes.
Okay.
I
And
really
then,
couldn't justify paying the 300 and something dollars just to sleep for tonight.
yeah, my new routine is that I stay at the Hyatt at the airport
I
and
gotcha.
on arrival, and then I go to Disney World the next day.
Mhm.
So we'll have to figure out our things. So September 11th, tomorrow, Thursday, you are checking into a suite at Art of Animation.
Yes.
And did you pick a type of suite? Which kind?
No, I just picked I think it just says, like, family suites. I think the
Yeah,
picture is The Lion King, but I'm not sure if we'll get that one or not.
you never know.
Yes.
I think that the trip I'm going on next week is Art of Animation as well, and I think I did the same thing.
Yes.
So you never know what you're going to get, but you know you're going to get a suite.
Yes.
Do you have a preference? Do you hope that you get one section or another?
I don't really have a preference. We went last October and we stayed in the Lion King. I think one of my friends has a little boy, and I think he would really like cars, but we're fine with anything.
Yeah, they're all really nice,
Mhm.
really cute. All right,
Yes.
so tomorrow on the Thursday when you check in, well, your room probably won't be ready in the morning, right?
Yes.
But what are your plans?
Okay, so we're just gonna head over to Art of Animation in the morning just to, say we're here, check in, wait on our room. And we have a stroller rental for Away We Go stroller rentals. So they're gonna meet us at 10 o'clock with the strollers, and we might head to Disney Springs. I do have a reservation at Beaches and Cream for lunchtime around 11:15. So we might do that. I might cancel that. I'm not sure. I just made that today because when I originally booked, they didn't have any openings, and I just
Hmm.
kept checking back, and I found that for today, so we might do that.
On the Skyliner, it's pretty fun
Yes.
to be able to do that. Okay, so the stroller rental. So is that for all three kids?
Yes, so we got 1 single stroller and 1 double stroller.
Okay. All right. So all of them will have a place to sit.
Mhm.
Okay. And so your plans are either Disney Springs, lunch at Beaches and Cream. So
Yes, just kinda
is
hang
this
out.
a non-park day, I assume?
Yes, this is a non-park day, and then I also have a reservation for 7 at the Polynesian at Ohana at 7 at night.
Mm-hmm. Have you been there before?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any other plans on this first day?
No, this is our just a break day, I guess.
What about water park tickets?
I don't think we'll use those. I'm not a fan of water parks, so I don't think that that's gonna be a priority for us to do this trip.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So then let's talk about Friday, September 12th. What's your plans?
Okay. So I have a Topolino's reservation. Let's see what time. At 8:05 and 8:10. I had to break it up into 2 separate reservations for all of us to be able to get one. And then after we eat at Topolino's, we're gonna head back to the resort, play in the pool, take a nap, and then we have the Halloween party that afternoon.
Okay. Have you ever done the Halloween party?
Yes, I have done the Halloween party, and my daughter has done the Halloween party. We did a big family trip last October, and we did the Halloween party, but it rained,
Mm,
so they didn't have the parade. They had the fireworks, but, like, I felt like when they would go off, it would be really smoky when it rains there, so a
yes.
lot of that was, like I feel like interfered with the projections and stuff. So, it'll kinda be like a new experience because it poured down rain the whole entire Halloween party last year.
Mhm. It's a shame that the parties take place during hurricane season and rainy
Yes,
season because
yes,
it's so common.
yes.
Okay,
Um,
so everybody's
my
going to the Halloween party.
Yes, and then my friends, they've never been to the Halloween party and their kids haven't, so
What are your goals at the party? Is it like parade characters, rides?
I'd say the parade, fireworks, rides. We're not really into waiting hours in line for characters, so I'm not sure that we'll do that. It just depends on, like, what their wait times are. We
Mhm.
might need a few, but, like, Jack and Sally's not a priority. Our kids are kinda in the phase of where that's a little scary right now.
Mhm.
So, we might do Mickey and Minnie, and then, like, Daisy and Goofy and Donald, might see them.
Mhm. How late do you think you'll last?
I don't know. My daughter is sleeps really good in the stroller. The other 2, Heidi, my friend Holly, her daughter, she did really good last year when we did the Christmas party, and they kinda if they were sleepy, they slept in the strollers. So we're
Nice.
just gonna kinda be flexible with the kids and, you know, see how long they can hang. If they're okay, we'll be okay.
Mhm. All right. I'll keep my fingers crossed that they'll
Yes,
make it late enough for you to feel like it was worth it.
worth it. Yes.
Also for the rain, I just checked the forecast. It says 30% chance right now,
Yes.
but I don't know what time of day that is gonna.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll just cross our fingers. We have our rain jackets and ponchos. We'll try to truck through.
Yeah. Okay. And then Saturday, September 13th?
We are rope dropping Epcot, and we're gonna do Remy's, and then I have a lightning lane. I have a burner lightning lane for the Pixar Film Festival at 9, and then I have I think it was a 10 o'clock Nemo and 11 o'clock Frozen.
Mhm.
And then we plan on I don't really wanna be in Epcot after lunch because I feel like it's Saturday, the
Food and wine.
locals yeah, food and wine, the locals will be around, and it'll just kinda be crazy. So we're just gonna hop over to Hollywood Studios and maybe do some of the shows. And I'm gonna try to, as soon as I scan in at Epcot, get some lightning lanes for Hollywood Studios.
Okay. Makes sense. And then your goal at Hollywood Studios, you said is mostly shows, or are you gonna also do some rides?
We're gonna try to do some rides. I was thinking Mickey and Minnie's Toy Story Mania, and then maybe Slinky Dog if we can get a Slinky Dog. The only I know those are harder to get, but the only reason that I did the lightning lanes originally at Epcot is because the last few times we've rope dropped, Frozen has been down, and
Mhm.
that was just to really make sure that we get to ride Frozen. But yeah, so those 3 rides would be our only priority at Hollywood Studios if we get to do them.
Yeah. Yep, you can keep checking. Hopefully, you will get some of the rides that you want.
Mhm.
Do you have any dining plans on this day?
We do not. This is just gonna kinda be like a maybe mobile order, just whatever we're feeling type of
Mhm.
quick service day.
Mhm. Okay. And then Sunday, September 14th is your departure day.
Yes, it
Do you
is.
do you have any plans before you head out?
No, we just have to meet the stroller company for them to pick up the strollers, and then we're gonna be packed up and ready to leave.
All right. A short but fun trip, it
Yes,
sounds
it's
like.
jam-packed for sure, but we'll see how the kids hang in. Like I said, Holly and I did this in November with Holly and Millie, and they did really good, so, yeah.
Yeah. And since your kids aren't in school yet, you have the flexibility to go when you want to, and it's not
Yes.
not a super busy time.
Yes. Yes. Well, actually, my 7-year-old I have a 7-year-old, and I feel bad. He's sick, and I'm leaving him. I have a little bit of mom guilt for leaving him because he's sick, but it'll be okay.
Yeah. A chance for somebody else to take care of him, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this sounds like fun, and this is a pretty quick turnaround for a trip report, so I guess I'll talk to you maybe in a week or
Yeah.
2. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm talking to you maybe next Saturday.
Yeah. Right
Yeah.
when I get back from my trip, I think. So,
Oh, that'll
anyway,
be fun.
have a great trip, and I'll talk to you then.
Thank you.
Sometimes a movie comes along that feels like it was made for you, and Ruth and Boaz is one of those. Produced by Tyler Perry and Devon Franklin, this film is a modern-day reimagining of the biblical story, set right in our world with themes that hit home: love, healing, and second chances. It stars Soraya as Ruth Mobley, an Atlanta hip-hop artist who leaves fame behind after a tragedy, moving to rural Tennessee. There, she cares for Naomi, played by the legendary Felicia Rashad, and finds an unexpected connection with Boaz, a vineyard owner brought to life by Tyler Lepley. At its heart, Ruth and Boaz is about Black love, tender, grounded, and real. The chemistry between Soraya and Tyler is undeniable, and the music, featuring an original song from Babyface, brings it all home. This is a story for everybody, about finding peace, purpose, and partnership after pain. Ruth and Boaz premieres September 26th, only on Netflix.
I bet you've probably been to the doctor's office in the past few months. I bet you had to hand over personal info, like your insurance, your ID, maybe even your social security number. And I bet you weren't thinking about how your doctor is just one of many places that has your personal information. If any one of them isn't careful, it's a good bet they could accidentally expose your details to hackers and identity theft, putting you at risk. Fortunately, LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. If your identity is stolen, a LifeLock US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back, with plans covering up to $3 million for stolen funds and expenses. Don't take chances with your personal info. Help protect it even when it's out of your hands. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code iHeart. Call 1-800-LifeLock and use promo code iHeart, or go to lifelock.com/iHeart for 40% off. Terms apply.
This week, on a very special episode of Health Discovered, we're taking a closer look at a condition that affects hundreds of thousands of men each year: prostate cancer.
I first found out about my cancer on my birthday at the age of 45. Found out my cancer had spread to my pelvic bone. And from there, life just changed.
About 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during their lifetime, and the risk increases with age.
Anything with cancer, you just think death sentence. And the only thing I could think about was, who's going to take care of my family? You have to go out there and build your support system. You got to build your team.
In this episode, we'll explore the science behind detection, along with the practical steps men can take to protect their health. Listen to Health Discovered on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app, search Health Discovered, and start listening.
Welcome back from your trip, Katelyn.
Thank you. Welcome back to you as well.
Thank you. Yes, they're talking the day after I just got back from my own trip. It is Saturday, September 20th. You've been back for almost a week.
Yes, we got back on Sunday.
How have you caught up on sleep yet?
I think I'm getting there. I went straight back to work on Monday, and then it's just been go, go, go because I have 3 kids. So we're trying to get caught back up on sleep. I kind of feel a little better today.
Maybe this weekend will be the ticket, other than spending the first part of your weekend talking to me. Let's start walking through it, because you told us that you had a big drive ahead on Wednesday, September 10th, where you were going to put 3 women and 3 4-year-olds into an expedition, I think it was, and drive
Yes.
to the Holiday Inn in Orlando.
Yes, so we did just that. After I talked to you, I actually got my hair cut, then I went and picked up my friends, and we left about 2:30, and then we arrived in Orlando at 11:10 p.m. at the Holiday Inn. We did 2 stops. We stopped once for like gas, drinks, bathroom time, and then we stopped in Valdosta, Georgia, which is like really South Georgia, like almost into Florida. And I switched with one of my friends, and we ate Chick-fil-A, let the kids do bathroom breaks. She started driving, and then we got to Orlando at 11:10.
Did the kids sleep on the drive?
Yes and no. They took like little naps, and then they would wake up, and then they would take little naps and then wake up. But they did really good. We were probably like 45 minutes out from Orlando, and they started getting like really whiny, wanting to get out of the car, but they were troopers. They did great.
So 11:10 you pulled in, and
Yes.
at that point you just needed to sleep.
We just needed to sleep, and we should have all packed just like little overnight bags, but we did not do that. So we had to unload everything out of the car, and then we checked in, went straight to the room, got everybody ready for bed, and then woke up the next day and we were ready to go.
You made your way over to Art of Animation, where you had not chosen your family suite.
Yes. So we left the hotel that morning about 8:30, and for some reason we always feel the need that we have to stop at Target. So we went to Target and like browsed around, and then we went to Starbucks, and then we got to Art of Animation to meet the stroller rental at 9:45. We checked in and our room was not ready. And so we finished paying and everything, and she told us we would get a text message when our room was ready. So we ended up I requested to be close to the lobby and close to the main pool, and we got that request. They put us in Nemo. So I think our room number was 5528. So, like when you walked into the Nemo building to the left, we were the first room to the left. So we got
Mhm.
got a really good spot. I was really excited about that.
On my trip this week, we also didn't choose a section, and we also got Finding Nemo.
Oh, awesome.
So when we checked in, they said, "Oh, you got an upgrade." And I said, "We didn't book Little Mermaid." And they said, "No, you got the preferred suites," which is what Finding Nemo went. So when you didn't choose a suite at all, I'm like, "Yep, that is nice, isn't it?"
Yes, yes, that's nice. So we saved a little money there and then
Mhm.
got preferred. So once we got there, my friends just wanted to kind of like look at is it the art, the ink and paint shop? So we looked around in there, and then we decided to leave all our bags and everything in the car. And we had a reservation for Beaches and Cream at 11:20 that morning. So we just decided to hop on the Skyliner. We got to the Skyliner at 10:25, and we headed over to Beaches and Cream for our 11:20 reservation. So we kind of just walked around the beach club, looked at the shop and like looked at the pool area, and then we checked in at our reservation at 11:08 and we were set immediately.
Nice.
Yes. So we just had we got some sides like fries, chili cheese fries, and the kids got lunch there, and we all got ice cream. We didn't do the kitchen sink because that was just too much. But we did get to enjoy other families got it, so we got to witness the little thing that they do.
I
So
also think if you get the kitchen sink, you have to be willing to eat all the flavors. And
yes,
like, so even if the kids wanted to participate, like, what are the chances they're going to like all the flavors?
all the things mixed together. Yes. So we just stuck with our strawberry ice cream, and
Mhm. Mhm.
that's what Millie wanted. So and then we headed back to the Skyliner. I'm sorry, I'm looking down. I'm looking at my phone to look at
That's
notes.
okay.
We headed back to the Skyliner, and I said we were leaving Beaches and Cream around 12:15. And once we got back, on our way back, we got a notification that our room was ready. So Holly and I went and unpacked the car, and Ashley kept all the 4-year-olds in the room. Well, while we were gone, I guess they were just running around playing. Ashley was on her phone doing something, and I think one of the kids was playing like they were talking to somebody on the hotel phone, and they accidentally called security. So security showed up at our room, and they wanted to and Ashley had tried to hang the phone up really fast, so maybe it wouldn't go through, but it still went through. So security showed up at our room, and they were like, "Just make sure you don't hang up, because it still does go through." And so we were all like, "Oh, we're so sorry," but one of the
Wow.
kids
They were there
accidentally called.
quickly, huh?
They were. So when we got back, security was at the room, but they said it was fine.
That's an alarming sight to see. You're like, "We
Yes.
just went to get the luggage. What happened?"
Yes, yes. So that happened. We got dressed. We had to sit down and talk to them like, "This is why we don't play with the phone. It's okay, but just don't press any buttons." So then we got ready for the pool. They went and played in the pool for a little bit. And then around 2:30, we came back, had a little snack, we took baths, and laid down for a nap. And then that evening, I had a reservation at Ohana.
Mhm.
So once we woke up, got ready, we headed to the bus. We decided to take Disney transportation to Ohana instead of just so my friends wanted to ride the monorail, and this would really be our only chance to do that. So we headed to the bus around 5:50, and then I put that we were getting off the bus at 6:14. We stopped in front of the little pumpkins in front of Magic Kingdom, and we took some pictures, and then we headed to the monorail. I said that we got on the monorail at 6:25, And then we did not get to the Poly until 6:44 with stops and everything. So in total, it took us about 55 minutes to get from our hotel to the Polynesian. So just for everybody, you know, you do need to like take some time to like plan out that time if you want to do Disney transportation because it does take a little while.
It does. And this is why I'm always asking when people have plans that go from hotel to hotel, how are you getting there? Because sometimes it takes time and sometimes it's not obvious how to do it. But
Yeah.
yes, good point. You had time.
Yes, we did. And so I put that we were sat at Ohana as soon as we got there. So we got there around 6:44. I checked in and we kind of walked around the little stores and we were sat at 7 o'clock. We had a great meal. It did take a little while. We were there for over an hour and a half. And I don't know, our waiter was great. He was very nice. I don't like to complain about like waiters and waitresses and stuff typically, but he was very nice. I don't know if he just wasn't like as attentive to our table because like gratuity is already added because we have 6 people, but there was like plenty of tables around us that were like 3 people, 4 people, and they were like constantly being like waited on. And like we had to ask multiple times for like refills and things like that.
I mean, you had 6 people.
Yes, yes, and I mean, 3 of them are 4-year-olds, so, like, they were
Mhm.
drinking their drinks, and they needed more drinks, and it was fun, but I do feel like it took a really long time, like, longer than it normally does, and I don't wanna say it's because gratuity was already added, but it just makes you wonder because they were rolling those tables over pretty fast around us,
Yeah,
but,
that's interesting because I'm always there with adults only. And so sometimes I'm like, oh, the families are being paid attention to more. But you were the opposite. Like you had a
mhm.
table full of kids that, and then the other tables had more attention. I don't understand it.
Yeah, we were just, like at one point, we were all kinda, like, looking around at each other, it's like, do we ask for the check? Do we not ask for the check? Like, what do we do? Because I'm one of those people, I don't like to say anything. But anyway, so we walked out of there around 8:40, and then we went to the stores again and bought everything that the kids wanted to buy before, but we didn't want to take into the restaurant. We were gonna do fireworks this night on the beach, but I think because of the new parade, they've been moved to 10 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock, maybe. I don't know. They haven't.
No, it's 8 o'clock parade, 10 o'clock parade, 9 o'clock fireworks in between. But was it? I'm trying to
Oh.
remember what night this was. Was it a Halloween party?
I don't know. For some reason, I
I
had
don't.
looked in the app and I had thought that it said that fireworks were at 10 o'clock, but maybe not. This was on Thursday. So that was what day? The 10th or the 11th? I'm not sure.
The 11th, I think.
The 11th. But I had looked and I thought that it said 10 o'clock. But while we were on the bus at 9:25, fireworks were going off. So we probably could have stayed and watched them, but we didn't. So we made our way back to the buses and we got on the bus at 9:25. We did see a little bit of fireworks and we were back in our room by 9:40.
Okay. The next day was Friday, September 12th, and you were going to start the day with Topolino.
Yes. So this whole trip, I did not sleep very great, and I'm not really sure why, but I was up at 5 o'clock that morning, and Millie and I were in the part of the suite where we were in the bedroom.
Mhm.
So it was fine, and I didn't wake everybody else up. But I was up and about at 5 o'clock, and then everybody else slowly started to wake up and get ready. And we were on the Skyliner by 7:30, and we were headed to Topolino's.
Mhm.
I put that we got off of the Skyliner at 7:50 and we checked in at Topolino's at 8:01. We were set around 8:10 and I had originally booked 2 separate reservations because I couldn't get a reservation of 6 altogether, and they ended up seating us all together when I asked.
And did you check
Uh,
in the app or in person?
I checked in person
Okay.
because I was scared if I checked in on the app,
Mhm.
it would have set us separately.
I think you have better success when you check in person when you want to be set together. Otherwise,
Yes.
checking in the app makes sense.
Yes, but we were set pretty much immediately. And this is probably my favorite character meal.
Mm.
My friends had never done it before, but I had done it with my family. And we love all the character meals, but this one I feel like is definitely you get your money's worth out of it. and the characters came around. I think we saw Daisy multiple times, which we saw her multiple times last time too. But we just had a great, like, food is great, characters are great, everything's great about this meal. We finished up around 9:05 and we headed back and we were off the Skyliner at 9:30. So, but Topolino's is great. We loved it. Highly recommend if you do a character meal and you can get this one, definitely try to get Topolino's.
Yes.
Uh,
It's popular for a reason.
yes.
And you had the perfect situation to be able to go over there because you were already on the Skyliner.
Yes. Yes.
And in the pre-trip, you said after Topolino's, you might just do some like pool nap time. So how did you spend the time after breakfast?
And that's exactly what we did. So we went back to the hotel and we had a potty break. We got the strollers because we did not take the strollers to Topolino's because it was just the Skyliner right away. So we got the strollers and we actually walked around the resort so we could see all the different, like, Little Mermaid, Cars, Lion King, and the kids really enjoyed that. We took pictures. They got to run around and play a little bit. And then we went back to the room and we did the pool around 10:40. And we were there till about 11:30. I put that we got drinks around 11:20 at the drop-off pool bar. And we just let the kids play. We came back to the room and we showers, naps, and a snack. So that's like our theme. When we get back to the room, it's a shower, a nap, and a snack.
Mm-hmm.
So then we woke up and we had the Halloween party. So
How early did you go?
we were at the bus stop at 3:30. I put that we were boarding around 3:45. And then we walked in Magic Kingdom around 4:15. And we didn't have to wait in line. When Holly and I did the Christmas party, I feel like we left maybe a little before 3 and we stood in line in front of Magic Kingdom. And I was like, I really don't want to have to do that with the kids
Mhm.
because Millie and Heidi did not do well with that last time. They get like antsy. So this time we tried to hit it and we hit it perfectly where we just walked right in.
It's really good information too, because for people that don't want the stress of it, it's good information to be like, just arrive shortly after, because then the crowds will have been cleared by then.
Yes. And I was worried that because my family, we're rope droppers, we're those people. And I'm like, I want to be front in line, or first in line. But I think this was really better because we didn't have to deal with like all the kids
Mm-mm.
being
And
fussy.
you're still really early though.
Yes,
like
we
with
are
your
still
tickets.
really early.
Yeah, just without the stress.
Yes, yes, and it was really nice. So when we got into Magic Kingdom, they veer you off like back behind. I don't know what it's called, but it's back behind Main Street, the little passageway through there.
It's the bypass.
Yeah, the bypass. And after we got our bags and our bracelets and all that, we headed to Tomorrowland because it kind of just brings you out over there. And Ashley's son, Weston, he wanted to do the Tomorrowland Speedway. So that's the first thing we did. And we walked right onto it. Probably not like the best use of our time, but we're with 4-year-olds and we're doing what they want to do. So,
And that speedway is like a magnet, pulls in
Yes.
the kids. You got to do
Yes.
it. You might as well work it in your plans because they're going to want to do it.
yes. So we did that. We waited 5 minutes in line. And then after that, we headed to Barnstormer. And that was also, we waited 5 minutes in line, pretty much walked right on it. And then after that, we actually wanted to get Weston a bubble wand. And so we went into the big souvenir, like little tent thing over there. And while we were in there, it started downpouring. And so we put on our jackets and Holly put on her poncho. We put on the stroller covers and we just trucked it through the rain. We went over to Little Mermaid, hopped right on Little Mermaid. And then the waits for rides started like climbing because I think people were just trying to get out of the rain. So, but Little Mermaid was a 5-minute wait. While we were in Little Mermaid, somehow our rain cover got took off our stroller, and our stroller was soaking wet. So we had to take Millie and Weston were in a double stroller. We had to take their rain jackets off and just let them sit on their rain jackets, but it ended up being okay. Let's see, what did we do next? We headed to the Carousel. Same pretty much walked right on the carousel. And after that, we headed to Small World. At this point, it was 6:04. I put that we waited 5 minutes. And at that point, it was still pouring down rain. We were on at 6:12 and we were off at 6:26. I do want to mention this was like the time we tried to mobile order, and I didn't realize that mobile order was down for an hour in between like 6 to 7. So as soon as we got off Small World, we headed to Pinocchio's, and we stood in line and we ate at Pinocchio's, let the kids chill out for a little bit, get out of the rain. It was still raining at that point. We found a big table inside and we just ate some supper there. So after that, we did a restroom break and we started off our party when it was like actual party time, trick or treating at Princess Fairy Tale Hall. And we saw the Evil Queen, and that was really cool. Millie really liked that. And then after that, we went straight over to PhilharMagic around 7:15, and we saw Donald in his little pumpkin outfit. That was super cute. And they were playing a movie in there. There were some people sitting in there watching the movie. So I guess if you need to get out of the rain, that would also be a really good place to go to hide from the rain. And you could just watch a movie.
Yeah, and they do Halloween ones, I want to
Yes.
say, right? It's not the normal PhilharMagic.
No, it was Ichabod and is it Mr. Toad? I don't know. I've never seen it, but I think that's what was playing. And then while we were at Pinocchio's, Ashley had gotten Weston one of the Pluto sippers, and we noticed at this point that it was just like pouring, like the drink was like pouring out of the bottom of it. And so she went back into Pinocchio's and exchanged it. And I think that this probably happens a lot because she's like, they didn't even question it. They were just like, okay, let's exchange it.
That's crazy though. What a
Yeah.
mess.
Yes. And I don't know how much they are, but she was like, it's just pouring everywhere. But so after that, we decided that we wanted to head over to Adventureland. So we did Jungle Cruise, and Weston had on these little light up tennis shoes. He was Olaf. Our kids Disney bounded as Anna, Olaf, and Elsa. And he had these cute little light up shoes. And one of the skippers was talking to him about his shoes. And we were kind of standing in front of like the lightning lane area while he was talking to him. And then the skipper was like, oh, do y'all have lightning lanes? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, yes, you do. Here, go through the lightning lane. So he let us go through the lightning lane and we skipped all the people in line. I felt bad, but got a
But
little bit of pixie
there are
dust.
no lightning lanes during the party, right? So
No.
he was being nice.
Yes, he was like pixie dusting us, I guess. But that was super nice. So we literally walked right on and got on the first boat. And then after that, we did Pirates, and that was at 8:05. And we were on at 8:11. And then once we came out, Weston just loved the store. So Ashley let him look around the store, and she ended up buying him a little pirate outfit. Well, somehow in the mix of him getting his new outfit and changing, he lost his magic band. And so now they don't know where his magic band is. But I took Millie to the little pirate band that plays. And we stood out there for a long time and just listened to the little pirate band. She was dancing, living her best life with her little bubble wand. But they're really cute and they're actually really good, I think. So we really enjoyed that. After that, we went to the Tiki Room at 8:38 and we trick-or-treated. And then I think at this point we had done, Ashley wanted to use the restroom. So we had another restroom break. And then we came out from Adventureland to watch the fireworks. And on this side of the hub, it wasn't as crowded. Like, but I guess because the parade doesn't come around this way and people were trying to stake out parade spots is all I can think. Or either they stayed in their parade spot. But we walked right up. We had a great view. Nobody was in front of us. Well, people were in front of us, but they were sitting down. So that was nice. But so that was at 9:40. And then we watched fireworks. And then after fireworks, we decided to try to truck it down Main Street to see if we could find a place maybe in front of the train station.
Mm-hmm.
But we found a really good spot, like right in front of the Emporium on kind of like in the middle, like where the two, there's like, I don't know, middle of Main Street on this side of the Emporium. We found really good seats right beside a trash can and like in the curb. So we sat there. Again, the kids played with their bubble wands, danced in the street, had a great time. While they were doing that, like we took turns shopping. So one of us, like two of us would watch the kids, one would go shopping. And we
Mhm.
did that. And then they also had characters walking around. So Cruella DeVille was walking around and she came up and she was talking to Millie. And I thought that was really cute. And I got some pictures of them. And Heidi, Holly's little girl, she really wanted to do the dance party. So at this point, Holly had taken Heidi to do the dance party because once fireworks was over, we weren't sure if she would be able to get back there and it would probably be over. So she did that. And Ashley, Weston, Millie, and I watched the parade. So that was really cool because last year when we did the Halloween party, they canceled the parade. And I was really excited to see the Headless Horseman. So that was really cool.
But
And
so you did see the Headless Horseman, because sometimes when there's been rain, even if it's earlier, he doesn't ride.
yes, so he did. He did ride that night, and that was really cool. But yeah, so we saw the Headless Horseman, Max and all the dancers. They came out, and then they were pulling kids out into the street to dance with them. They did that with Millie, but then she decided she didn't want to dance, so she came back and sat in her stroller. So that was fun. I wish she would have danced, but we weren't going to push it. And then at that point, after the parade was over, we met back up with Holly at the front of the park, and we were in line at the bus at midnight. And kids are still awake.
They made it.
They made it all night long.
3
And
4-year-olds.
3 4-year-olds all night long with one nap during the day.
Mm-hmm.
And like minimal, I mean, they each had their little moments of like a little whininess. You know, I'm not going to say they weren't whiny the whole time, but yeah, they did great.
I mean, to be fair, I get whiny too.
Yes, yes, me too.
anybody, it gets hot and it's wet. It's a lot of walking.
Yes.
But also, I think at 4 years old, there's like a lot of 4-year-olds don't take naps, or I mean, like it's such a mix of what you could be at 4 years old. And this group all napped and all stayed up.
Yes. Yes, they did great. So once we got back to the hotel, I didn't put what time we got back to the hotel, but Ashley had to go to the front desk so she could get a room key for Weston because he had lost his magic band. That way we could use it the next day. So she went to the front desk. Holly and I took the kids to the room and we started baths in bed, and everyone was in bed by 1:11.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the end of our night.
That was the end of your night, but I'm looking ahead to your plans, and your pre-trip said rope dropping Epcot.
And we did just that.
With a 1:11 bedtime.
Yes.
Okay.
So
tell us about it.
I was up at 6, and I let Millie, it doesn't take us really long to get the kids ready. I might have let Millie just sleep in her outfit she was going to wear the next day because it's that like bamboo material. I can't remember if I did that or not, but that might have been what I did. But I was up at 6. We were getting ready, and we were all at the Skyliner at 7:00. We had, the kids were a little cranky, but they were pretty much just sleeping a little bit in their strollers while we were in line. And then I put that we were on the Skyliner at 7:15, and we were in line. So we walked pretty much right through security. We walked right through scanning our tickets to go in. And then we were pretty like far up in the line. They like hold you on that little hill. We were pretty far up there, but we were in line at Remy's at 8:04, and they let us on. We were like one of the first people to get on, and we were on at 8:32. So
right when the early entry began.
Yes. And then, so my plan was to do Remy's and then head straight to Frozen. And this has been our 3rd time rope dropping Epcot and trying to do Frozen in early entry, and Frozen has been down. So we went in October and it was that way. And then we also went in April and it was also that way. So this time was that way as well.
Yeah, this is good for people to know because early entry, there are certain rides that are kind of risky. Like Rise the
Mhm.
Resistance is probably the most, popular known one because it's 50% of the time it's down.
Yes.
But Frozen is on the list.
Mhm. Yes. So that's why I had originally, because we hop over to Hollywood Studios, and instead of just trying to get the really good rides at Hollywood Studios, I was like, well, I'm just going to do this so I know that we can ride Frozen. So, and I'm glad I did because we wouldn't have if not. So at this point, it was 8:50. Frozen was closed. So I told everybody, I was like, I'll take everybody's magic bands and go scan in for the Pixar Film Festival because at this point, kids were hungry. We needed coffee. So I took everybody's bands and did that. And Ashley and Holly went to Starbucks and got in line for us to get breakfast. At this point, Heidi had started not feeling good, and Holly couldn't tell if it was she was actually coming down with something or if she was just super tired. Like, Holly wasn't sure. So we sat and ate breakfast. We talked about what we wanted to do with our lightning lanes. So at this point, we had our 11 o'clock Frozen lightning lane. And then I also had Standby Skipper. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but I had Standby Skipper. And as soon as I scanned into the Pixar Film Festival, it booked me a Slinky Dog for like 7 o'clock that night. And then I modified our Nemo Lightning Lane to a Mickey and Minnie's at 2:30. So I was just trying to, I know I watched this girl named Molly and she calls it fiddle faddle. I don't know. I was just trying to like keep refreshing to get a new time. And I ended up getting a 12:40 Slinky Dog. So we had a 12:40 Slinky Dog and a 2:30 Mickey and Minnie's. And we were all good with that. So we decided that the kids would probably really like to do all the stuff over in Nemo and the aquarium. So after breakfast, we headed over there. And Nemo was a walk on. It was a 5-minute wait. So we walked on it 9:52 and we ended up getting stuck on the ride. Not very long, but a little bit. And we got off around 10:10. And then we headed straight over to Turtle Talk with Crush. And it was 10:17. So we did that. And then we let the kids run around in the aquarium, do whatever they wanted to do. And then we headed to Journey of Water with Moana. And Millie and Weston were running around at this point. Heidi was still not feeling good, wanting Holly to, carry her. So Holly took her to the stroller and was like, I'm just going to walk around with her for a little bit, see if I can get her to go back to sleep. So after Millie and Weston decided they were done with the Journey of Water with Moana, we met Moana. And then we met back up with Holly and Heidi to head to our 11 o'clock Frozen. So on our walk over, Heidi got sick. And so we were like trying to clean her up. Holly took her to first aid so she could sit in the cool air and cool down. And Ashley and I went and got her a change of clothes. And we bought her a little outfit and took it back so she could get cleaned off. And then Holly was like, I'm going to sit in the air with her. She had fell back asleep at this point. So Ashley and I took Weston and Millie to ride Frozen. And I've lost my place. So we scanned in at Frozen at 11:30 and we were on at 11:40. And after that, Standby Skipper booked a Toy Story Mania Lightning Lane for 2 to 3 o'clock for Millie, Weston, Ashley, and myself. At that point, I went back to check on Holly and I took the kids, went back to check on Holly and Heidi. Ashley went to the Mexico Pavilion and got all of us something to eat. And at this point, Heidi's still sleeping. We all ate lunch and Ashley watched all the kids while Holly and I scanned into our Guardians at 12:53. That was a 12 o'clock lightning lane. And we scanned in at 12:53. We were on at 1:17. We got conga and it was really fun. Holly was stressed out though, and I don't think she could really enjoy it because she was stressed out about Heidi being sick. So after we were off, Holly decided to take Heidi back to the room, and Ashley and I took Millie and Weston to the bathroom, and we hopped on the Skyliner and headed to Hollywood Studios. So we were on the Skyliner at 1:52, and we were in Hollywood Studios at 2:23.
I don't know if there's too many things that feel worse than being sick at Disney World.
I know.
Because it's like they're in the room, they know that everybody else is out having fun, and you've been planning it and paying for it for so long.
Yes.
But
I
what
know.
are you gonna do?
I know. And we both, like Ashley and I, felt so bad for Holly, but we were like, if we go back at this point, our kids are going to be running around, and, Heidi's not going to be able to get rest. And it's just,
100%. And if it's a virus,
yes.
you don't need 6 people all in the same space.
Which we think that's what it was, because Millie ended up sick and Weston ended up sick once we got back. Not while we were down there, but once we got back. So,
Yeah, I mean, you guys are doing the best you could given the circumstances. It's
yes.
just
Yes.
it's such an awful feeling.
So at that point, I think I had a Slinky Dog, I had a Toy Story Mania, and I had a Mickey and Minnie's. Those were our lightning lanes going into Hollywood Studios. And we the 2-hour rule, we played that a little bit because I couldn't get lightning lanes to match up with times
And
needed
I feel
to.
like we keep mentioning this, but people keep not knowing what it is. So the 2-hour rule is when a lightning lane expires, you still have 2 more hours. It'll tap in and it'll still be green. So really, lightning lanes are 3 hours long.
Yes, yes. So I had put that we were in Hollywood Studios at 2:23. We were on Slinky Dog at 2:33, and our original time was 12:40 to 1:40. So this was Millie's first time riding Slinky Dog. She really didn't want to ride it, but I was kind of like, you'll be okay. Mommy wouldn't put you on anything that you would not be okay going on, and she
Has
loved
she been
it.
on other things that were similar? Like, you like this, so you can do this.
She was on Barnstormer. She loves Barnstormer. I don't know. That's the only thing that I really can
Well, I mean,
compare it to for her.
yeah, and the 7
Um,
Dwarfs Mine Train?
She hasn't done Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Okay. They feel kind of
Uh,
similar.
Yeah. So she ended up loving it, though. So I am glad she wrote it. And I am glad I kind of pushed her a little bit. My
Yes.
7-year-old is my thrill seeker. He rides everything at Disney World.
Mhm.
And so our next step with him is probably like Universal. But Millie is kind of a more timid child, but she ended up loving it. So I am glad I was like, you'll do
Yes.
great.
And now she knows she can do that plus probably other things.
Yes. So after that, we were going to go straight to Toy Story Mania, but it ended up being down. And so they gave us an individual lightning lane for that. And we stopped. The kids saw the ice cream cart right outside of Slinky, and they ended up getting the frozen ice or something like that. And so we did ice cream, we did bathrooms, and we went over to the Pixar Plaza. Is that what it's called?
Mhm.
And we sat over there. We found a table over there. We sat over there, hung out, watched all the characters walk around, and we ended up meeting Sully and Joy over there. And the kids were on cloud 9 because they love Sully. We have a kitty cat named Sully. And then Weston's really into Monsters Inc. right now. So they were having a great time over there just hanging out. While we were doing that, Toy Story Mania came back up, and we scanned in at 3:37 for that. And then after that, we went to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and we scanned in at 4:00, 4:03 for Mickey and Minnie's, and our original time was 2:30 to 3:30. So that was a little bit after time, and we love Mickey and Minnie's. That's one of our favorite rides. And then we were gonna do our main priority, we really wanted to do the new shows at Hollywood Studios. And Ashley, her family's really into music, and they all sing and stuff like that. So she had never been to Hollywood Studios, so she just wanted to see some shows. And then I haven't seen the 2 new shows, so I really wanted to see the new shows. And So we tried to do the 440 show, but it was full at this point. And that was
Which one? Villains or Little Mermaid?
Oh, Little Mermaid. I'm so sorry. So Little Mermaid was already full for the 440 show. And it was probably like 420 at that point. And so we decided to fill up our popcorn buckets and we sat over in the area that the Little Mermaid shows in. I'm not sure what it's called, but there was a bunch of characters out. Goofy, Max, Chip and Dale. They were all walking around. The kids enjoyed watching them. And then we got in line for the 520 show. So that was at 4:59, and then they let us in at 5:17. And that was great. I loved that little show. That was so good. Okay, so after we scanned into Mickey and Minnie's, I had got us a Rock and Roller Coaster Lightning Lane for 5:10 for Ashley and I. And after the Little Mermaid show, we headed over and she scanned in at 6 o'clock. And I had the kids. And so with the villain show being right there, I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and go get in line and wait while she's riding this. So about 6:15, I took the kids to get in line for the 6:30 villain show. And Ashley came and met up with us. And we were seated at 6:25. That was really cute too. I really liked it. I don't know if have you been on it or have you seen it multiple times? Does somebody different
wins.
Okay. That's what I was unsure of. I didn't know if it was like the same person every time.
Yep, it's not preset.
Okay.
But but like the last time I was there, it was very obvious who everybody was cheering for. And so I was like, does everyone just cheer for somebody different every time?
Yeah, that's what I was. I didn't know that either. And I guess they have the same ones every time.
I think that stays the same, but the winner is different.
The winner is different. Yeah. But that was super cute. We really enjoyed that.
I'm so sensitive that I was thinking the performers might get their feelings hurt.
That's funny.
I'm like, imagine knowing you're going to work and people are not going to cheer for you.
That's funny. Oh, goodness. But yeah, we had a really good time. Millie loved that. Weston loved that. They were dancing. They had a great time. So after that, I rode Rock and Roller Coaster and I used the Lightning Lane. And this was probably around 7, maybe a little before 7, because I put at 7:15, we were headed to Fantasmic. So Rock and Roller Coaster is not my favorite ride. I think I'm just like the perfect height for the shoulder bars to just be like right here at my head. And it's just not my favorite ride.
Jostles your brain up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So I rode that. And then we decided we were kind of like tossing around, like, do we want to get something to eat? And then I saw that they were letting people in for Fantasmic. So I was like, oh, well, let's just go in here. We can get a seat and then one of us can go get something to eat and bring it back. We can do that. Well, and if you want to cut this out, you can cut this out because I kind of feel bad about doing this, but in the moment I didn't understand what was happening. So we walk through, we walk out of Rock and Roller Coaster and straight across where they let people in for Fantasmic. I was like, oh, well, let's just go in right here. And so we walk up and he's like, how many in your party? And I was like, 4. So he's like, okay, here we go. And we walk in. I was like, okay. And he was like, just hand it to the people up there. So we park our stroller and we hand them the ticket and they set us in preferred seating. So I was like toying. I was like,
but why did they do that?
I don't know. We didn't have the dine-in package. They didn't ask for anything. And then the rule follower in me is like, I need to tell them that we didn't have the dine-in package. And then my friend's like, let's chalk it up to they pixie dusted us. They didn't ask us for anything.
Well, if you had the dining package, they would ask you for the little voucher. So that is, who knows?
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. But part of me felt bad. And then part of me was like, maybe it was pixie dust because they did not ask us for anything. And we went through 2 different people. But
yeah. I think I would have took it too, just because you weren't trying to lie about it.
No, because he was like, how many? And I was like, 4. And he was like, here you go. And then he's like, just give it to her up there. So then I went up and we handed it and she was like, okay, right this way. So,
So you ended up in preferred seating by accident.
yes, we did. We'll chalk that up to pixie dust, and that was great because the last time we went to Fantasmic, we sat all the way up, like as far back as you can sit,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't hardly see anything back there. So that was like totally different. I was like, wow, this is
And
such
you're
great
talking
seating.
about above the walkway
Yes,
that most
above the
people use.
walkway.
Yeah, some people don't even know that area exists, but it is really far back.
Yes, it was very far back. That's in April when we went, that's where we sat. But that ended up being okay. But the Ashley went and got food and came back, and we ate corn dog nuggets and chips while we waited. And we waited for a while. I can't even remember what time that Fantasmic started, but we waited for a while. The kids lived their best life. When Elsa came on and started singing, Millie had her little moment of like she was doing the water things like with her hands, and that will probably be like a core memory I'll always remember with her. But it was so sweet. So yeah, after that, we went back. We got the stroller, and then we were back in the room by 10 o'clock. Millie and Weston did not take a nap all day long, and they made it all day.
And so back in the room was Heidi and Holly.
Yes.
And how was she doing?
She was very much sick. Holly had got to the point where she had called a nurse. Like Disney, I don't know if people know this or not, but you can have like a doctor or a nurse be called by Disney, and it is a pretty penny. I didn't ask Holly if I could say how much it costs, so I'm not going to say how much it costs, but it was a pretty penny. And the nurse came and saw Heidi, and she gave her some Zofran. And when we were back, they both were laying in bed, and Heidi pretty much didn't sleep that whole night. She was up and down all night. I felt really bad. It was really terrible. But yeah, so they were asleep when we got back. We tried to be as quiet as we could and like start cleaning up our rooms and unpacking the stroller. And then we just woke up super early the next morning to get that stuff. Really started to try not to wake up them while they were sleeping, because I know Holly had had a rough time while we were at Hollywood Studios, which again, I feel so bad for, but I honestly feel like if our kids were there, we probably would have just made the situation worse,
100%.
But yeah, so that morning we wanted to leave really early, but we had the strollers, and our stroller rental was from 7:30 to 8:30. Well, the day we got down there, I think our stroller rental was, let's see what time we picked it up. Oh, our pickup time was from 9:30 to 10:30 that morning. And they had texted us at like 8 o'clock that morning and was like, "Are you here? Are you ready for your stroller rental?" And I was like, "No, we're not there yet." So I just assumed maybe they would be super early this time too. So it got to be 8 o'clock, and I was like, "Hey, we have a really sick kid. Can someone please be on their way to, like, what's our ETA time?" And they were like, "Okay, we'll send somebody right away." So they did. They sent someone right away, and we met him about 8:20, and then we left about 8:25. So Holly kind of stayed with the kids while Ashley and I got the car, packed the car up. Ashley and I had got the kids breakfast, got them situated, and then packed the car up.
And then you had a 7.5 hour drive ahead with one sick kid.
Yes. So she did really good all the way home. She got sick a couple times. I dropped them off. All of their doctors and things are like out towards Atlanta. So we actually came back through Atlanta, and I dropped them off at an urgent care. And then Ashley and I just headed on back to Hartwell. But we got home after dropping Heidi and Holly off and Ashley and Weston off. I pulled into my driveway at 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
So from 8:25 to 5:30. So we actually made pretty good time with the stops we had to make. I think we stopped twice, and then we stopped once in Atlanta, and then so altogether 3 times.
Mm-hmm. But then you said the other 2 kids got sick too?
Yes. So Millie actually got sick while we were in Atlanta. And There was also a bug going around my other daughter's daycare, so I ended up with two sick kids on Monday and Tuesday, and they both were better. And then I talked to Ashley and Weston, and her other child was sick the end of this week. So all of our houses have had sickness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's a lot of things going on right now. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's just
And with them being so little, it's just hard to, we preach wash our hands. I try to keep hand sanitizer, but just being in those close quarters, it's going to happen.
it's gonna
But
happen.
yeah,
It is. But other than, obviously one kid getting sick during the trip, it sounds like overall a pretty fun time.
yeah, we had a really good time, and we've already talked about going back and taking them back. I mean, Holly and I did the Christmas party last year with the girls, and they did great. And then maybe next year we'll do something.
Yeah. Do they all start kindergarten next year?
Yes. So, well, the way Heidi and Weston's birthdays hit, they don't have to necessarily go to kindergarten next year, but Millie turns 5 over the summer, so she'll go to kindergarten definitely next year. So maybe we can do something like when school's out. We have pretty good breaks. We have like fall break, winter break,
Mm-hmm.
all the different kind of breaks.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that you guys went together.
Yes, it's so much fun. Good memories.
Yeah. So when is your next trip?
February. And this
Who-
is going to be a really big trip.
Who's on that one?
So it's going to be my parents, my 2 brothers and their families. One has 2 kids, one has 1 child. And then my husband, myself, our 3 kids, and my in-laws.
That is a lot of people.
Yes.
Have you
so-
ever done a trip with this group?
We did a trip last October when we did the Halloween party, and it was myself, my husband, our 3 kids. My mother-in-law went, my mom and dad, my sister-in-law, her mom, my nephew, and my grandmother. That was last October.
Mm-hmm.
So this time we're adding a few more people, and then some people aren't going, but my brothers haven't been in a really long time, and one of my brother's wives have never been. So, it'll be first. And they're golfers, so they're staying at Old Key West, and they're going to stay and play golf. And so it'll be fun.
Yeah, every trip's different.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Especially when you change up the people.
Yes.
So, well, that's something to look forward to. Now you've got 5 months or something until that one.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, best wishes for everybody to feel better.
Yeah.
Hopefully-
I know.
Hopefully by this weekend, you guys will be rested and on the mend.
Yes. And all the bugs will be gone.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right. All right. Well, thanks for keeping notes during the trip while managing
Yes.
all the kids and the plans and everything.
Of course, I did do totals, but I didn't do step counts. I don't know if you would want totals
Yeah,
or.
go ahead. People always like hearing that.
Okay, so for our like my part of my total, this was hotels, tickets, lightning lane, standby skipper, stroller, food, everything I bought down there. It was $2,279.64.
And that's like your portion of the suite, for example.
Yes, my portion. And then like everything I bought, because we did split everything 3 ways. We split the hotel 3 ways. We split the stroller 3 ways. We did a double stroller and a single stroller, and that was like $200 together, so like $66 a piece. Topolino's for Millie and I to eat with gratuity included was $112.41. Ohana supper for us to eat, and I also got a mixed drink, was $153.76. So that's kind of like how those are looking with just an adult and a child.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
those are our totals.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing that as well. I know there's all
Yeah.
different budget ranges that you can do Disney World under, so
Yeah.
it's good to know.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed talking to you.
I hope you enjoyed that trip report. Caitlin and I did keep talking on Patreon for a bit. I wanted to know, how did they decide on the bedroom sleeping arrangement in their room. But also I wanted to ask her about other travel and things that she is planning to do in the future. So you can hear that in video and audio form on Patreon. I think that'll wrap up this episode of WDW Prep To Go. For more information, please check the show notes in your podcast app or head to the website wdwprepschool.com. Click on podcast at the top, scroll down to episode 481. Until next time, I will see you on the site.